Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Cozy Witchling and today we are going to be taking a look at the answers to the question, should I stay or move on? So, sorry, my cats are going to be a little loud, but basically how I wanted to have this reading be is that it could be talking about any kind of situation that you feel stuck in, and if you're unsure of whether you should stay and work on it and persevere through it, or if you should just close the chapter and move on. We're going to be taking a look at the, I guess, any kind of situation that comes to mind. So if you have something that is really bothering you right now, you can have that question in mind while you're reading or watching through this reading. And I'm also going to be asking Spirit to give us the two options. So what would happen if you stay, what would happen if you move on, and finally some guidance on how you can make the decision for yourself. So first, I'm going to be starting out by picking out the 5 groups that we are going to be having. If you would like to skip forward to just the reading portion of this video, you can take a look at the timestamps down below, and I will have the groups and the name of the crystals, so you can choose the one that is calling out to you. But if you would like to sit through the pile creation part of this reading, then we are going to get started on it right now. So Spirit, today we are going to look at the 5 different groups to answer the question whether they should stay or move on. And for the oracle cards, I'm going to be reading all of them in the straight up like way. I'm not going to be taking reversals for the oracle card. So Spirit, can you give us the energy of the 5 different groups that we will have today for this reading of whether they should stay or move on from this situation that they have in their minds. So we do have the 5 groups now, and I'm just going to be assigning crystals to the 5 groups. I don't really know the name of all these crystals off the top of my head, but before this video goes live, I'm going to put the name down at the bottom. Okay, so this is going to be your groups for this reading. I have group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, and group 5. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on to the pile preparation part of this video, but if you would like to skip towards your reading, the timestamp is down below, and remember to only take the messages that resonate with you and leave the rest, since this is a general reading. So yeah, let's get started with that. Hi friends. Okay, so now we are going to get started on choosing the cards for the 5 different groups. So I'm going to be starting out with the oracle cards. These 2 want to come out. For group 1, Spirit, what messages do you have for our friends watching this video? Oh, that's way too many cards. I just want 1. Let's get this one. Okay. Spirit, what messages do you have for our friends who are watching this video on the situation, whether they should stay or move on? Okay, and I think the way I'm going to be doing this reading is that we're gonna leave the oracle messages for last, and we're gonna just have that as advice on your current situation, the one that's really on your mind that you might be conflicted about. Sorry guys, it's like 6 a.m. and it's really difficult to talk. All right, let's get one more spirit for group 5. Okay. All right, and now going into the tarot, we are going to see. So this card is going to, this is the Dark Woods tarot card, I think. And these cards are going to represent what would happen if you choose to stay in this situation. So let's get started with that. If you choose to stay in this situation, what outcome or what result should they expect, Spirit? For group 3s, if they stayed in this situation, what result would they expect to get? If they stayed in this situation, I feel like they just wanted 3 cards. Oh, goodness. Okay, I'll take this one. And oops, spoilers. All right. Okay, and now we are going to see. Oh, okay. Oh, this wanted to come out. This is going to be the cards for what would happen if you walked away from this situation. So what would happen, Spirit, if they walked away from this situation? What can they expect if they walked away from this situation? Whoa, the cards is just like flying out now. What would happen if they walked away from this situation? One more for the final group. All right. And now for our last tarot cards, it's going to be advice from Spirit on how to best make your decision. Like, yeah, just general advice on how to make your decision. You know what? Let's do 3. All right. Okay, so that concludes the POW preparation part of this reading. Thank you so much if you're watching through this. But now we're going to get started with the actual groups, starting with group 1. So, bye! Hi group 1s, if you guys have chosen this aura quartz, this is going to be your reading all about whether you should stay or move on from this connection or the situation or whatever is coming to mind. Should you stay or should you go? If my video looks a little bit different, that is because I am recording it on a different day and I'm also feeling a little under the weather, so yeah. But anyway, you still have the same cards. I have all the cards that we picked out from the POW preparation, and we're just going to go through them. So first of all, starting with the Oracle card, you guys have Metamorphosis with the Frog and Lotus. So with this card, what I'm getting is that the energy of like transformation, this situation that you guys are going through, whether you choose to stay or you choose to go, like you are being put at this crossroad of these 2 choices for your transformation. Like you have made a soul contract or kind of like an agreement before you incarnated into this lifetime to choose to go through this journey so that you will grow, or your soul will grow into the person that it wants to become. So this path is kind of like is fated, is meant to be. And I'm also feeling like whether you choose to stay or you choose to move on, there's really no right or wrong answer. Like regardless of which path you choose, you are going to transform, and they're going to lead you and change you into a new version of yourself. And with this card, it's also the number 6 card, and with that, in traditional tarot, is connected to the Lovers card. So it could be that this is a soul contract, that if you're thinking about a love situation or situation involving another person, it could be something that you and the other person have agreed upon to go through together. And also, since it is also talking about the Lovers card, it's talking about union. So whichever path that is going to lead to a union of like-minded individuals, or a union of souls where you guys are just happy and feel at home with each other, like that is going to be the path that is going to be good for you. And now we're going to move into the tarot portion of this reading, and with that we picked out a couple of cards, so 2 cards to take a look. Okay, I'm gonna put this aside. But yeah, these 2 cards to take a look at what would the outcome be if you were to stay in this situation, and these 2 cards to see how it would be if you were to choose to leave the situation. So starting with the first 2 cards, you have, all right, the 10 of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So okay, so I feel like, group number 1, if you are thinking about a situation or like a person, if that's what the situation is about, like if it's, you know, whether you should stay in a relationship or if you should move on in a relationship, Spirit says that if you choose to stay in this union or in this relationship, you are going to feel, eventually, like you're going to feel emotional fulfillment. This if you choose to stay, you are going to have your cups full. You're going to feel the sense of family, of belonging somewhere. With the wolf howling at the moon, it also feels like, especially with the moon being in this card, I feel like this might not be an outcome that you can see for yourself at this moment. You might look at the situation in this moment and think like, there's no way I can be emotionally fulfilled if I stay here. But Spirit is saying that like you will be emotionally fulfilled. It's just that you're not, like right now you cannot see how or when or why that's going to come about. But this outcome of 10 of Cups is definitely like in the cards for you, if you choose to stay. And then with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, I feel like this is telling you, also the Wheel of Fortune is another like number 10. So like 10 could be significant. Also number 10, it goes back down to like 1, which is, you know, represents like beginning. Like the aces is like the starting of a journey. So what I'm getting from this is that our relationships or our experiences, the things that we go through, are very cyclical in nature. And what that means is like you will have your good days and your bad days, and then on your good days, you know, you would feel like happy and you feel like everything is worth it. And then on your bad days, things might not be going too well, but that is life. life is about learning what we can from the days that aren't so good and appreciating what we have on the days that are better. And if you can learn to understand that that's how life moves in like a wheel where it just goes, sometimes you might be up and sometimes you might be down. Like once you have that understanding of life, then it will become a lot easier for you. And I feel like Spirit is telling us that if you choose to stay on this path, then you would have to learn to master the wheel or the cycles of life, and to have full understanding of the cycles of life, and that will eventually lead you to that 10 of Cups emotional fulfillment happy outcome. And then if you choose to move on, this is the possible outcome that would happen if you choose to move on from this situation or connection. You have the Queen of Wands and the Nine of Wands. So with these two cards and or like this two energy, I feel like if you move on from this situation, you will still feel empowered. Like moving on from this situation is going to help you feel confident. It's going to help you feel like you can take care of yourself, and that like you have the power to rely on yourself and stand on your own 2 feet. I feel that your outcomes, or regardless of whether you stay or you go, either way it's going to be some kind of really nice fulfillment for you. It's either you're going to feel really emotionally fulfilled, having that family support, or having like people you love, or having a tribe around you. Versus if you choose to leave, what I'm seeing is that you are going to stand out from the crowd. You are going to be someone that like other people might look up to, someone that other people might be inspired by. With the sunflowers, I also feel like even if you leave, you would still feel happy. Either way, like there would be lessons for you to learn, but the outcome would eventually be that you would be happy whether you stay or you go. It's just that, when you go, if you leave the situation, then you are going to feel more empowered, like you are going to be stronger, you are going to be more confident. And if you stay, you'll learn more about teamwork and understanding like other people and like cycles of life. And then if you choose to leave with the Nine of Wands, what I'm also getting is that the journey might not be like smooth sailing. It's just like how if you choose to stay, you're gonna have your ups and downs. If you choose to go, you are, there would be a lot that you need to work on. Like there would be a lot that you have to carry. You might feel like there's a lot on your shoulder, but like, how like when you go to the gym and you work out and you do all the strength training, basically what you're doing is that you are sort of like increasing the weight a little bit at a time, and eventually you can lift a very heavy weight that you wouldn't have been able to on day one. And that's how I feel with the Nine of Wands. Like, yeah, it's gonna feel like there's a lot of burden, a lot of responsibilities, a lot of changes, a lot of things on your plate if you choose to leave. You might be uprooting yourself, you might be doing like completely different things than what you are used to or what you usually do. But like you will still come out of this victorious. Just know that if you choose to go, there would be stresses and burdens that you will have to shoulder for a while before you come into the Queen of Wands energy. And then with your final 2 tarot cards, this is just going to be sort of like advice from Spirit on what's the action you should take or how you can come to the best decision. So I feel like with you guys, group number 1, Spirit is saying to take your time to decide on which path you're taking. Yeah, like with the Page of Swords in reverse, I'm getting the sense of Spirit telling you to not be too critical. Not to be overly critical with like how other people are behaving, and really just taking your time to see and understand things from like a different perspective, and coming to a decision that like your consequences of, like you're very fully aware of like, if you stay this will happen, if you go this will happen. And once you have weighed out your pros and cons, like it would be, yeah, like that would be a good time for you to make a decision. And no matter what, group number ones, I'm also getting that you shouldn't neglect your sort of like, if you are building a certain skill to bring about material wealth or abundance, you should not neglect that while you are trying to deal with this emotional situation right now. So continue to focus on your career, and I think focusing on your career is going to help you clear the clouds in your mind to come to a better decision of which path you are wanting to take. Because no matter what, be it whether you're staying or you're leaving, you are going to transform group number one into the beautiful person that you're meant to be. But in order to come to that clear conclusion, sometimes it's easier when we step out of this energy of chaos, and uncertainty, and focus on something that is stable. And right now what Spirit is saying is that your career, or things that you might be doing for like creativity, might be something that is stable and is bringing you peace right now. So focus on that, and as you're doing that, the answers or the path that you should take is going to come to you much easier and very, very clearly. All right, and now we are going to end the reading off with some oracle cards. So with the universe card, it says, I choose love no matter what. And I wonder if this is from this deck. Yeah, it is. My fearless freedom lights up the world. So okay, I feel like no matter which path you choose in the end, group number ones, you are going to do it from a place of love. You are not going to burn any bridges, and you are going to make sure that this is the outcome that is going to, or like this is the path that is going to bring about the most happiness for you and the people that are involved in this situation. And with my fearless freedom lights up the world, I feel like this is more connected to the Queen of Wands. You know what? Let me switch these two cards around because this makes more sense. Because I feel like these two energies sort of like relates to the two paths that you could take. So with this path, yeah, this is you choosing love no matter what. Even though it might be difficult, you are going to choose love. And then with this path, this is you feeling like I am going to light up the world because I am free to choose my own destiny. I am not tied down to anything, and I am able, I have the ability to bring forth this light, brightness into the world. So it's very, very different energy here and very different choices, but neither of those choices are bad for you, group number one. Like you can choose this or that and you would be happy in the end. You would be beautifully transformed in the end. So it really is asking yourself, which journey like would I want to take? If you're choosing a class in like a new MMO game, which class would I be? Would I be a tank? Would I be a healer? Neither one is bad, neither one is wrong. It's really just how you want to write your story. And then with your angel answers, you have ask your angels and with the guidance from the angels, you have Indriel. You are a light worker. God needs you to shine your divine light and love like an angel upon the earth and all of his inhabitants. So I feel like even, if this reading, even after this reading, you still feel that you need a little bit more help or you need a little bit more clarification, like sitting down and asking your angels for help is going to, you might find answers by just speaking to your angels and asking them for help. I am also going to pull some more oracle cards. I didn't do it initially when I was prepping the piles, but before I started filming again, oops, so many cards dropped. I feel like you guys might need to hear some messages that are coming out from this card. So alright, since these are oracle cards, I'm just going to take all of them that drop. So you have timing, divine timing, patience. So I feel like you're not supposed to have the answers right at this moment. Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. So this could be your sign or the signs of people that are significant. I'm also seeing Pentacles. So this is also another confirmation from Spirit that's telling you to like focus on career and material things for your answers to come towards you. You have truth, honest, faithful, clarity, confession. So if there is some truths that need to be said to the parties that are involved, go ahead and talk to them about it, because by sharing your truth and sharing how you feel, you might discover new answers that you didn't know were in play before. You also have keep going, don't stop, almost there. So I feel like you're on the precipice of finding your answer and finding your path that you need to walk on. And you have strength, courage, stability, inner power. And this is very important because this card is telling me that really, no matter which path you choose, you have the strength to face any challenges, any obstacles, any burdens, any ups and downs. Like you have the ability to face anything that comes along the way and end up at the happy ending that you chose to write in the story of your life. So yeah, group number one, that was a very encouraging reading. I really hope that this resonated for you, and thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you guys. If you have found this reading helpful, you can leave me a like, you can comment and tell me just anything that you want to share with me. I would love to read them. And you can also subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye! Hi Group 2s, if you have chosen the Sodalite, this is going to be your reading all about whether you should stay or move on from this situation. Should you stay or should you go? Also, I'm also filming this portion of the reading on a different day, but everything that I've selected, all the cards are still the same. I've just kept it on the table and then went to work because yeah, it's been a real busy week. Anyway, let's get started with your reading, group number 2s. And first, starting out, we have the Deer and Oat with healing. Okay, so with this card, what I'm really getting is that I feel like in this moment, you, group number 2, are in need of a hug, almost kind of like if you're able to have a good support of like friends and family, or just maybe one or two people that who really understands you and who gets you, that you should go to them and talk to them about whatever it is that you're going through, and with their help and support, you might be able to feel some kind of healing or some kind of love from them. But healing is actually quite important right now. So remember, group number 2, to take care of yourself, even when we are going through a stressful situation. That sometimes it's very easy to just forget and neglect our self-care. So if self-care is something that you haven't done in a while, to go and do it. like, yeah, self-care is important, so don't neglect that. You know, pamper yourself, treat yourself, get yourself something nice and beautiful and wonderful, and you'll feel so much better about moving on and continuing on with the rest of your journey. All right, and now we are going to go into the tarot portion of your reading. So with the tarot cards, we're gonna first look at what is the outcome, or yeah, the possible outcome if you choose to stay in this situation. And it could be anything, you know, it can be like love, work, whatever, right? It can apply to any kind of situation. And then we're gonna look at what is the outcome if you choose to leave, and spirit's advice for you to make the best decision for yourself. Okay, so all right, so now we're gonna start with the first two cards. So the outcome, if you stay, I'm gonna put these here. So the outcome, if you stay, first you have the Lovers in reverse, and you also have the Queen of Wands in reverse. All right. So with these two cards, it's kind of clear to me that if you choose to stay in this connection right now, if you choose to stay in this connection right now, it is not going to come from a very healthy mindset or a very healthy space. With these two cards in reverse, it's giving me the energy of like you're too afraid to let go. There's some kind of obsession of like clinginess, of just like digging your claws into the situation or this other person, and just like hanging on to this situation from a place of fear. You're not like you're not staying because you feel empowered or in love, or in like a balanced union with whoever that is involved in the situation. You're staying because you're afraid of what would happen if you leave. Like you're staying out of fear, and because of a decision like that, because of a choice that is made from fear, what could eventually happen is that you will start to feel like you lose your power. Like because you're not healed, and you're not making the decision, or you're not staying from a place of empowerment. If you choose to stay because of fear, right, then yeah, like because you haven't done that inner work, you haven't really healed yourself, you haven't made peace with whatever it is that you need to heal, be it like a toxic mindset, or just any kind of like things like that, things that you need to work on for yourself, by yourself, or with like a therapist. Because you haven't done that, basically those flames that are burning inside of you is just going to go out of control, and it's going to affect the relationship slash the people around you, or the situation that you are in, that you chose to stay in. So I think one thing that is coming up for this outcome, that if you choose to stay, is to make sure, like pretty please, to make sure that you have worked through your healing, that you are okay, and that you are staying from a place of empowerment. Because yeah, this could be an outcome right now, but it could also be in the reverse. Like you have the power, group number twos, that you have the power to change the outcome into what you put your energy towards, right? So if you decided that no, I don't want this to be the outcome, I do want to stay though, and then you come from a place of empowerment where you heal yourself and you work through yourself, right? Then you're going to come from a place of like the Queen of Wands energy, where you're confident in your power, you're okay, that you're not staying because like there's no other choice, you're not staying out of fear, you're staying because you want to stay. Then coming from this Queen of Wands energy, you will be able to achieve this outcome of having this balanced union made from love, a soul contract, like this beautiful lovers energy kind of relationship. Like this is what you could have if you work on your healing and like, yeah, and like come from a place of empowerment. But it is very important that for you to make the decision to stay, you really need to do all the hard work first. Like, you need to put in some work, because if you're not willing to do that, then this, like, the original outcome of if you choose to stay, like, I would not recommend it. I mean, you're free to do whatever you want to. I would just, like, like, I'm just looking out for you. So if you really do want to stay, make sure that you are healing yourself and coming from a place of empowerment and confidence. All right. So let me just leave these cards like that, okay? Just so that you can see the beautiful possible outcome that you could have from staying as well. But remember, you have to work on your healing first, all right? And then if you choose to leave, you have the Star, which is also another healing card, and the Knight of Cups in reverse. So what I'm getting from these two cards now is that, okay, regardless of whether you stay or you leave, healing is like the main thing for you, group number twos. So the Star talks about healing, but it's also talking about like having hope and having optimism. So if you choose to leave, then you will finally be free from this like mental chain and burden, and you would have the capacity, or you will finally have the time to take care of yourself and heal yourself. All right, you could also have a lot of opportunities coming in that is going to make you feel happier. It's going to make you have hope in the world. And with the Knight of Cups in reverse, what I'm getting from this is that you are going to give yourself love. Like, Knight of Cups upright is, love coming in, like someone is coming in with the offer of like emotions or love. But with reverse, I'm seeing it as like more of like an internal thing, where you are bringing yourself love. You are bringing yourself like, this offering of like, I'm gonna take care of myself. I'm gonna make sure that I am okay. I'm gonna make sure that I'm 10 out of 10. I'm gonna make sure that I learn all these skills to apply when my days aren't going so well, because we're not gonna always have great days. The key to life is that when life is throwing you lemons, that you know how to make the lemonade. You know what I mean? And you're not gonna know that if you haven't like figured out how to make the lemonade. So, like, if you choose to leave, you are going to learn how to make that lemonade, so that on the days when life does give you lemon, instead of going, ew, it's a lemon, it's so sour, you can instead go, oh, great, thank you so much. Now I can make lemonade. Like, I am very grateful for the ability to make lemonade. So yeah, this is going to be the outcome if you leave. And yeah, but regardless, make sure that you are working on your healing. Don't forget about this, like, don't be in this energy. Don't dig the hole deeper. Don't put yourself in a situation that is going to be so much harder to get out of. Make sure you are healing and helping yourself. If a therapist is something that is not accessible to you, then you can read self-help books on situation. There are so many books available out there, and not everything is going to resonate with you guys, but there will be one or two things in certain books that's going to speak out to you, and like, work on yourself like that. Don't neglect yourself because you care about other people. What I'm also getting from this group is that like, you have the deer energy, and like, the deer is reminding me of Bambi's mom, which is very dark, very sad, but it gives me the energy that you guys would rather hurt yourself than like, how would I say it? Like, than to put the burden on other people. Like, you would take the pain for yourself, and that's not fair to you. You're not being fair to yourself, so make sure that you're putting yourself first. And I know sometimes it might make you uncomfortable. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. Just remember that it is more selfish to neglect yourself, because then when you malfunction or when you are no longer able to, you push yourself to the brink of exhaustion and you're no longer able to take care of yourself, someone else has to take care of you. And that's actually more selfish than you just having your boundaries and telling people like, hey, I need time to myself, I need to take care of myself. Anyone who loves you and respects you is going to respect the decision or your needs. Like, they're not going to walk away from you. They will still be there after you're done with the healing work that you need to do for yourself. So anyone that leaves because you need to work on yourself and you need to take time for yourself, they don't deserve to stay with you anyway. All right? Like, you are worth so much more than that. So work on yourself. Focus on loving yourself so that you can love the other people who deserve to be loved in like the best way that you possibly can, in your highest, your best capacity. Okay, and then with advice from Spirit, you guys have Two of Pentacles in reverse and the Hanged Man. Okay, so with these two cards, what I'm getting is that like, yeah, like things might feel really out of balance right now for you, group number 2. I think the number 2 is also very prominent in significance, and number 2 can talk about balance. So make sure that you don't have too much on your plate. Like, make sure that whatever you're doing, you're able to find balance to take care of yourself, right? Like, not just focusing on other people all the time, but also remembering to focus on yourself. Take your time to just be still, not to make any decision, not to just be doing things all the time. Like, be still and take a look at the situation from a different perspective. Maybe by reading books. Usually books offer us like windows to how other people's brains work, how other people's perspectives work, and our perspectives change by exposing ourselves to how other people would think. So maybe by reading books, you will get a different opinion and perspective, and like sort of like an enlightenment almost of the situation. And with that, you can become, you can make better decision for yourself, whether be it to leave the situation and work on your own healing, or to just stay in the situation, but because you're currently focusing on your healing. Like, you don't have to leave, but focus on yourself. But if the situation is tying you down and they're not letting you focus on yourself, then I feel, group number 2, that your answer is pretty clear, that whatever choice you make, that focus, your number 1 priority should be you, and should be taking care of yourself, and should be about healing yourself. All right, and now we're going to go into the oracle cards. So your first oracle card, you have the key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. So with this, the message that I'm getting is that you can pray and ask your guides for help. But instead of like having a general prayer of like, please, whoever, like angels, spirit, universe, God, right? Please, I need this in my life. That is just like narrowing your prayer down. Like, we might think we need something, but that might not be the best, like the highest good for us, because we could be praying and wishing for something coming from a place of like lack and like, like a place of fear. Then what we actually need is not really what we need, is it? So instead of having like a very specific prayer like that, you can have like a general prayer of like, oh God, please just bring about like happiness and abundance into my life. Like, guide me through this journey. Something general like that is going to bring you towards a path that is going to be much suited and much better for you, group number 2s. And then with your angel cards, you have the situation will improve. So Spirit is telling you to have faith, like to not to give up, and just to have faith that things will get better. You also have Isaiah. It's a good time to give birth to new ideas and situations in your life I am watching over you, guiding you, and protecting you during these changes. So I feel like things are going to change, and I just feel like your angels are telling you that you're not going to be alone. Like, things might feel different and change might be really hard, but remember that you're not going through this change alone, that you have your guides with you, you have your support with you, and you'll be okay. So it is okay to like take care of yourself, group number twos. All right, and then I'm going to pull some last oracle cards. So you have travel, adventures, new places, experiences. So I'm really like seeing this is very strong message of like having new experience, going out and trying something new. All right, that's coming out for you, group number two, very strongly. You also have intimacy, love, closeness, affection, sexual chemistry. Okay, so maybe if you have been too stressed out and haven't been intimate in a while, that might help. Also, intimacy reminds me of like just showing yourself love, being intimate with yourself, you know, taking care of yourself. It doesn't have to be someone else, but like having self-intimacy is what I'm seeing. And then we'll take one last card. You have hope. Don't lose faith, stay positive. So yeah, even though you might be going through a really difficult journey right now, group number two, just remember to stay, like, to have faith. Stay hopeful, because beautiful things are going to come. You have the star card, you know, like wonderful things are coming into your life. Your angels are watching over you and guiding you. So stay hopeful, and when things get difficult, don't forget to rely on your support systems, your family, friends, loved ones, your angels, the universe. Like, don't forget to rely on them for help. Yeah, so that is all I have for you, group number twos. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I really hope that you get the healing that you're needing, and that you get the love and care that you definitely deserve, because you seem like a wonderful person. And yeah, if you have found this reading helpful, you can leave me a like, you can comment to tell me your stories. I would love to read them. And you can also subscribe to my channel if you want to watch more videos from me. And I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye! Hi group threes, if you have chosen the calcite, this is going to be a reading all about the question, should you stay or should you go? So just a disclaimer, I'm recording this video on like separate days because of my schedule, but all the cards that we have chosen are still the same cards that we picked out during the pile selection, so I've done nothing to the cards. So we'll just be going through your cards together. And just a little recap, we're going to be starting out with the general energy of the situation that you're in. And then we're going to go into the tarot to look at the possible different outcomes of your choice. And then we'll end off with more oracle cards. So let's get started. So the first oracle deck that you guys have is the chipmunk and the laurel with a success. So with this energy, I am getting a really strong sense of like the universe has your back. You know, you're going to be successful no matter what. The paths that you're on will lead you to success. You'll be well supported, you will achieve, and you'll be able to get what it is that you're aiming for. Another thing about the chipmunk and the laurel is that chipmunks in nature, they usually like, they don't follow a path. They don't follow a path that has already been forged by other animals. They sort of like venture their own way. They find a new path, something that doesn't have like a lot of the different animal scents and stuff. Any, I guess, animal lovers out there who knows more information about the chipmunk, you can feel free to share and correct me. But yeah, I think that's how little like chipmunks work, because they're tiny and they need to stay safe. So then they find like different paths that would help them better. And with that energy, I'm also getting the sense that like whatever you choose and whatever you might be doing would be something that is not familiar to you. An example would be, let's say if you come from a family where your mom and dad didn't get along, or you come from like a family that is separated, your path that you're forging could be something where the family stays together, because that's not something that you're familiar with. You don't really have like a blueprint or a template of how it has been done before. So you'll kind of have to like figure out on your own and figure out how to make it like stay together, or how to make a family dynamic, family relationship work, which is like really difficult to do if you don't have a good example to follow. But Spirit is telling us that you would be successful in forging this new path for yourself. And not only will you be successful, you will also have the support from the people around you and the love of the people around you. All right, and now we are going to go into the tarot portion of this reading. So we have two cards to represent the possible outcome if you were to stay in this situation, two cards to represent what would happen if you were to leave, and then you guys got three cards as an advice from Spirit on how to best make your decision, or just like general advice in helping you come into your answer for this situation. All right, so let's get started with the first two cards. So group number threes, if you were to stay in this situation, you guys have the Six of Wands, which is the card about victory and success, and it's a really good card to see pop out. And you have the Page of Swords in reverse. All right, so we're gonna talk about these two cards first. Excuse me. Okay, so with these two cards, the energy that I'm getting is that if you were to stay in this current situation that you're in, the situation that you're inquiring about, you guys are going to be victorious. You will have sort of like the success that you're looking for. Not only that, you will also have the family support. Like you, by staying in this situation, you're not gonna have to face it alone. You'll get the support. And the Page of Swords, if it's upright, is kind of like someone who is a puzzle solver, or like someone who can figure out like, I guess, how to solve certain things. Like think of like a mechanic almost, like someone who can fix a car, so they know how to like work through the engines, the gears, the mechanics of a car. So the Page of Swords has that energy, and by it going like reverse, what's coming to my mind is that first of all, you would be figuring yourself out, and like how your inner mechanisms work, how your brain works, how your emotion works, what triggers you, what is your like, okay, sorry, it's like sometimes I get downloads and it's really loud in my head, but what I'm getting right now is that you are, by staying in this situation, you will be able to discern which karma is yours and which karma is generational, or like which mindset is yours, something that you truly believe in and something that you forged out or figured out on your own, and which mindset is something that's just been passed down from generation. It's not really something that you personally have chosen to believe in, but it's just what the people, maybe your family, your ancestors, what they believed in, and it's been passed down onto you with like in a form of like generational karma. And once we learn to untangle that, we'll finally realize like, I don't subscribe and follow these values. These are not me. This other set of values are what I believe in. And yeah, like I think that would be the path that you would be forging if you were to stay in this relationship or the situation. And really, if you stay in this situation, you will feel like like you will feel really proud of yourself, but not only that, you will be setting a really good example for the people around you to follow. They will look up to you and see the path that you forged, like the little chipmunk. They will see the path that you have forged, and they will take that as an example, and that will help to guide other people along this journey as well. All right, and now looking at what would happen if you were to leave. You guys have the Seven of Wands. My camera is like a little tilted, so it's like all my cards seems a little tilted right now. Anyway, you have the Seven of Wands and the Two of Swords. So, okay, the situation or the possible outcome if you were to leave is that by leaving this situation, I think you will be faced with more choices, or like you will be brought onto a path where you need to make a decision and you're not really sure like what the outcome would be. It kind of feels like with the rough seas, I kind of see it as like a little bit of a turmoil, like your life would be a little bit rocked, you know, like you'll be like rocking the boat a little bit, but that would also give you the possibility of like choosing a new path for yourself, like forging a new path for yourself, you know, like you'll have the choice to have like, you know, the different branches of possibilities, the different branches in timeline, if you might, of what you want to be and what you want to do. And not only that, by leaving the situation, you will come to this situation, or you will come to this moment in time where you would learn to set your boundaries. And I feel like boundaries are very important for everybody. So really, like group number threes, you both your choices, like they're not bad by any means. I don't think like any of the reading, whether we choose to stay or we choose to leave, I don't think any of it is bad or good. It's kind of really just like what you feel drawn to or what you feel is right in your heart, right? Like if you stay, yeah, you'll be forging a new path and discovering many things about yourself and having that familial support, or like having the support from the people around you. But if you leave, you will forge new ways, like you will find new paths that would take you to new destinations. And not only that, you would also be learning how to set boundaries. Like each of these two things are nice experiences. They have their own benefits in their own ways, even though they're different. And they could all be beneficial to you in one way or another. So really, there's no like right or wrong path. It's really just what you would like to experience in your current lifetime and your current reality. And now looking at the cards from Spirit, the advice that you have the Queen of Swords. Okay, that's interesting. You also have the Queen of Pentacles. You have two queens in here, which is kind of crazy. And wow, you have the Ten of Cups. Okay, I feel like, all right, with these cards, I'm kind of getting the message that like Spirit is saying that no matter what choice you make, you're going to be happy, group number threes. Like you have the Ten of Cups, you know. It could also be that like, okay, let me see. I feel like if you're anxious about these choices right now, as anyone would be, if you're going through like a tough situation and if you are like confused as to if you should stay or if you should leave, like this is never, the Two of Swords energy is never really a very comfortable energy to be in because you don't really know the answers. But I think Spirit is saying that you're going to be well supported, that like you are going to walk on a path where you will be blessed with this emotional fulfillment and the happy ending. And what you have to do is that no matter your gender, to embody this queen energy. So queen energy is a little, it's more feminine than the king energy. I see the king cards as like, you know, you take action, you are like the father figure, you are like kind of like the emperor, and the queens are more of like the empress, where you're more of like the feminine energy of you let things happen to you, but like it's your choice, right? Like you're not forcing things to happen, you're not really technically taking actions, but you're treating everything with gentleness and like with the feminine strength. So with the Queen of Swords, Spirit is telling you to have a clarity in your communication. We can be honest in the way we communicate and yet still be gentle and truthful to ourselves and to others. Like communication is truly something that you have to master, I feel, as a human being, because that's what we do most of the time. Like we just have to communicate no matter what, right? And so by mastering your communication in a way where you can express yourself without hurting yourself, lying to other people, or hurting other people, would be the best way to go. And I feel like group number 3 is that currently you are in this energy where you would be able to master your thoughts. So just if you need the time to take, you know, a few moments, maybe like disconnect from other people for a while so that you can collect your thoughts and figure out how to best express your needs and your desires and your wants, be it to the people around you, or even if you're doing like prayers to the universe, just like having that clarity of mind to know exactly what you want. And then with the Queen of Pentacles energy, this is kind of like a very nurturing mother. Like, you know, the pentacles, it can talk about growth, and you see how like the flowers are just blooming and blossoming all around her. It is to, like, it is reminding me that even when we are trying to be clear with our message, even if we're trying to communicate as clearly as we can to the best of our ability, to remember to come from a place of love and nurturing, and never to really cut anyone down, because the Queen of Swords energy can also be really brutal sometimes and really harsh. That's the word I'm looking for. So like, remember to still embody the Queen of Pentacles energy where you're coming from a place of love and nurturing, so that you're not going to, you know, harshly like express your feelings, because then it will become a little more difficult for other people to take the message in, and like your whole purpose of what you're saying could get lost along the way. Yeah, like even on the thrones that they're sitting, you see how the Queen of Swords is sitting on like a stone throne, and the Queen of Pentacles is sitting on like a really cushy, like nice throne. So don't be so like rigid and stoic. Like, don't take those parts of the Queen of Swords energy, but instead, you know, take the good parts of like being mentally clear, and aware of your thoughts, and being confident in your ability to express and communicate your thoughts and feelings, while also embodying the love and care of a Queen of Pentacles. And yeah, and you will eventually be led to that outcome, or you know, you are going towards this 10 of Cups. So yeah, you don't have to worry about it. Anyway, I'm like rambling a little bit, so let's move on to the oracle card parts of this reading. So with the universe, you guys have the universe has my bag. This is such a beautiful card to get, you guys. Okay, so like I was saying at the start of this reading that I feel like you guys are very, very well supported by the universe, like by spirit, by whoever. And with this card, it's just a confirmation. So no matter what choice you are going to make, you have the support of the universe. You are being supported. You will be successful. You will get this 10 of Cups emotional fulfillment. You know, even if it's not a family that you're looking for, you will get that emotional fulfillment at the 10 with the 10 of cups. And you don't have to worry because your success is almost guaranteed. Just have the confidence that you are well supported by the universe. All right? And then okay, with the angel answers, you guys have compromise. So I feel like this card is kind of just like a little reminder that even if we're supported and even if everything is going or like even though things will have to move in a certain direction, right? It's not a guarantee that we will get every single little thing that we want. Learning to compromise and learning to balance is an important skill. Be it like when it comes to communication, you know, someone who doesn't compromise in a communication would be someone like, let's say they have their opinion and they share their opinion, but they are not willing to listen to someone else's point of view at all, not even like entertaining it, just cutting it down immediately when someone else shares their point of view. Like, you're not compromising if you're doing that. So if you have the ability or if you have the freedom and the chance to communicate your thoughts and feelings, then just remember that other people who listen to that also have like their rights to have their thoughts and feelings expressed. And it works the other way around too. If someone's not listening to you and your point of view, then like you don't really have to entertain and bend backwards to entertain their point of view. You know what I mean? Like, treat others like how you want to be treated and vice versa. Okay? And then with your angel guardian angel card, you guys have Zena. You are protected from all types of harm. The worst is now behind you. I ask you to relax and feel safe. So I feel like this card is also another like one of the universe has my back kind of card. It's like you are protected, you will be okay, don't worry. Just I just feel like group number 3, you guys are very caring and nurturing group. So just continue to be who you want to be and who you truly are. And like you will find the support and you will find your path. Like no matter which path that you want to choose, because now you kind of know like the 2 different outcomes, I feel like you can make a decision on which path would be good for you, and no matter what, you will be fully supported on the journey that you are choosing to take. And then I want to end off with some affairs of the heart oracle cards. I know I didn't do this in the POW preparation, but as I was like filming the reading portions, I decided that this might be helpful. So I'm gonna just take a few cards. You have rebirth, new beginnings, healed. All right, so this could be significant. I feel like you are sort of like transforming into a new person as well. You have fresh start. So yeah, I'm getting a lot of like start of something new, like the full energy, new beginning, start over, square one. So what is it that you have to let go of? I feel like there's with the swords energy as well, like there are some things that you need to let go of. It doesn't have to be a person or a situation. Sometimes it could just be toxic thoughts. And as I was saying, like do you guys feel like you have ancestral karma or family wounds that are not yours but you are carrying because you know it's like in your DNA and stuff like that? If it's not yours, if it's not something that you subscribe to anymore, let go of them, right? It's a fresh start, it's a rebirth for you. Like if you were to be if let's say you're playing Sims and if you're able to restart your character right now, you create your character right now, that's a rebirth. Who would you choose to be, right? Like put the stats, the characteristics, the traits, the skills, the person that you want to become, write that person down. Draw a character sheet. Like, be that person. Who would you want to be? Have that fresh start, all right? And like, leave everything that's not yours. You guys also have finances. Focus on career, money, workaholic. I feel like this also ties into the Queen of Pentacles. So if you are in a situation, or if you are in the opportunity where you are able to focus on your finances or on your career, Spirit is saying like, remember to do that. Don't forget about your career. Or by focusing on your career and focusing on work, we're kind of like distracting ourselves from the situation, and it would help you find clarity in your answers. It could also be that if you're talking or asking about a finance question, like should you stay in this job or should you leave, I feel like this would be an answer for you. And then you also have self-love. You are enough, know your worth, body positivity. Okay, so I feel like this message is pretty straightforward, but yeah, group number 3s, this is the message that I have for you guys for this video. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I really hope that it resonated and that you are able to find a little bit of guidance and help. If you enjoyed watching it, you can leave a like on this video. You can comment and tell me your stories because I would love to read them. And yeah, subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any future videos. And I will see you guys in another one. Bye! Hi group 4s, if you have chosen the lapis lazuli, this is going to be your reading to answer the question, should you stay or should you go? Alright, so just a little disclaimer, I am recording this video on like 3 different days because of my work schedule and everything, but all the cards that we are going to look through are still the same cards that we have picked out in the pile selection process. So yes, let's get right into your reading, group number 4s. I keep wanting to say group number 3, but yeah, if you're drawn to that, there might be some messages in there that could resonate with you. But group number 4s, let's see what the cards have for you. So with your first oracle card, you guys have the bobcat and the blackthorn with patience. I feel like, okay, with this card, the moment it came out, what I'm thinking is that you are stuck in this situation right now, this question that you have on your mind of whether you should stay or you should go. And what Spirit is saying is that you are not meant to make a decision right now. Like, whether you're staying or you're leaving, do not make a decision, do not commit to a decision right now. I still think that you are meant to be in this energy for a little while longer, at least, for you to figure out what step you should take and also how to best plan for that step. So like bobcats, they're like, you know, small little like wild cats, and they might not look like anything too intimidating, but they can jump really, really high. So like when they're not taking action, yeah, like it doesn't look like much, but when they do finally take action, they can leap and jump and go to like new heights that no one else has gone to, right? Like that kind of idea. So if you think about it in like a more physics way, it's also sort of like you have the potential energy, and the more potential energy, like a spring, like if you like press it down really, 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 really hard, like it has a huge amount of potential energy, and then you let it go and then it just like immediately becomes kinetic. But because of the high amount of potential energy, the amount of kinetic energy that it becomes is also more. Let's say if you were only to like press the spring down like a little bit like that, then when you let go, it's not going to bounce as far because it doesn't have you know, the same amount of potential energy. So it is the same thing. Like by staying still in this moment and by not taking action, it's not that you're not doing anything, you're just storing the potential energy, so that when you finally do take action, it's going to take you way further. It's going to take you on a much longer, like a further journey. It's going to propel you forward in like a much bigger way than it would have if you were to take the action right now. So group number 4s, I know it's difficult, but continue to stay strong in this moment of just not taking any action. With the blackthorn as well, like the berries are really sweet, but they also say that if a blackthorn has a lot of berries, it means that you're gonna have a severe winter. So what people did in the past was that they would harvest the berries in the fall, and the more berry they had, you know, the longer they could last through the winter without having to worry about food and rations, right? So right now, I feel like you're being asked to harvest these berries. Like, don't start eating them yet. Harvest this, build up that potential energy, build up that supply, that support that would be helpful to you, so that when winter does come, you will be fine because you would have enough supplies set aside for yourself to get through the harsh winter. I'm also seeing that because you do harvest the berries in the fall, I feel like maybe the time for you to take action would be either the fall or winter time. Or like the time for you to make a decision would be somewhere around fall or winter time, which if you're watching this video when it comes out, I know it's a little bit far away, but just think of it as like the longer I stay here and the longer I work on myself, and the more time I spend just not taking action but building something important to myself, the further I'm able to go and the more I'm able to learn. You know, like if you view things in that way, then time will just pass really fast because you're not waiting in stagnation and waiting for things to happen to you, if that makes sense. Okay, and now we're going to look at your tarot cards. So we have a few tarot cards for you guys. Group number 4. Let me put the oracle cards aside first. So the first, okay, you guys got 3 cards for the possible outcome if you stayed in this situation, 2 cards for the outcomes if you were to leave, and then 2 advice cards from Spirit on how to make your decision or what you should do right now. Okay, so starting with what would happen if you stayed. All right, you guys have the Hermit in reverse. Okay, you have the Queen of Cups. That's a nice card. I feel like my camera is more zoomed in than it was in the previous groups. I just feel like this reading is all over the place. Like this whole video is all over the place. Oops. Okay, and then the last card, you guys have the World in reverse. Okay. So all right. If you were to stay in this situation, I guess, you know, by not taking action is kind of also like equivalent to staying, but the difference is that inaction doesn't make it a choice, right? Like you're not taking action on committing to stay or committing to leave. You are just waiting to see how things play out. You're planning ahead, you know? So this is talking about if you chose to stay, like a choice that you would make right now to stay. What would happen is that I'm kind of seeing like getting the energy of like, you're like sticking your head in the sand, you're ignoring the problems. You are not really like dealing with the issue right now. You're not exploring your true potential, but you are choosing to stay because you are a very empathic person, group number 4. And like I feel like if you chose to stay, your world would revolve around other people, and in a sense you might start to lose yourself. Like if you chose to stay right now, you might start to lose yourself, and just be overwhelmed by other people's emotion and other people's needs. And you know, like sometimes we don't take note of it, but like when we care so much about the people around us or our loved ones, we take on their pain, their problem, their stresses, their worries, right? And because we're so busy doing dealing with all these things, you do tend to just lose track of time, and you forget about things that matter to you, which is yourself. Like, the only person that is going to be on your journey with you from birth till the end is yourself. And it is not fair that you forget or you lose yourself, or you don't deal with the problems that are affecting you because you are busy like taking care of other people around you. I think you deserve to acknowledge your own problem, your own worry, your own stresses, and yeah, like, and take care of you as well, right? So I feel like if you were to stay, if you were to make a decision to stay in this situation right now, Spirit is saying, make sure you don't lose yourself. Make sure that you're not ignoring all the red flags. I'm seeing a lot of red too. So like, make sure you're not ignoring the red flags, because the red flags will stay. Even if you stick your head in the sand, the moment you have to come up for air, you're gonna see the red flags. So don't ignore the red flags. Don't focus so much on emotions and other people's emotions that you are not seeing the red flag. Like, if you were to look at the Queen of Cups, like, she's touching this water, right? But the hand that is coming out from the water that's not her hand. Like, if you were to, it's reminding me of those like sirens or like spirits in the water. If you're a fan of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, you know how like there were spirits in the water. Spoilers, but like they were like gonna drag him down into the water with her. And I feel like this Queen of Cups right now, she's so unaware because she is so like just looking at someone else. She's just looking at you, right? The reader. Like, she's looking at you, that she's not aware of the danger that is about to pull her in. So be careful. Make sure that you're looking out for yourself as well, even if you choose to stay. All right? And now we're gonna take a look at what would happen if you choose to leave this situation. So you guys have the Empress in reverse. Okay, I kind of see like, for me, I kind of see the Empress as like a very similar energy to the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. They give me like the same kind of vibe. So I feel like if you choose to leave, then it is a very different energy and focus from if you choose to stay. You also have the Ace of Swords in reverse. And Ace of Swords in reverse also kind of gives me the vibe of like not having clarity of mind, not really knowing or not really being sure of what it is that you want. So, which makes a lot of sense if you were to think about the Patience card of having like, don't take action right now, like don't make a decision right now. Because I feel, group number 4, that whether you stay or whether you leave, I don't think at this moment when you're watching this video that you are clear on what you want. Like, you haven't really thought about what it is that you really, really want. I feel like if you were to leave, you would be getting out of touch with that part of yourself, that Empress part of yourself of like nurturing and caring kind of energy. Like, if you were to leave, you would be losing a part of yourself that is very fundamental to who you are, right? And you still wouldn't really know what to do. So yeah, I don't really have a lot of messages coming in for like, if you were to choose to go. I just feel like if you were to choose to leave this situation, you wouldn't really be yourself. At the same time, if you were to stay in this situation, you also wouldn't really be yourself, because you're not really like taking into account what's making you happy. You know, you're like caring too much about other people. So either way, like, it ain't you. Both ways. And then with advice from Spirit, you guys have, okay, you guys have the Moon, which is another very heavy like inaction card. The Moon talks about things that are yet to be revealed. I feel like you have like things that you still need to see and learn and experience from this situation right now, in this situation of, and I just saw like 1333, so that's a lot of threes. But yeah, I think you still need to stay in this situation because things have yet to be revealed. Like things are still revealing themselves to you. And you also have the Two of Swords in reverse. Like, yeah, you are currently in this energy of wanting to make a decision, just being stuck at a crossroads. Like you really don't know what to do. You don't know the outcome. You don't know the possibilities. You don't know what to do. And what Spirit is saying with these two cards is that, hey, don't take action right now. Like that is just what I'm hearing. Do not take any action right now. Clear your mind. Watch the situation play out. Let it play out for what it is. Let it show you for what it is. Let people show their true colors for who they really are. Don't make a decision right now, because maybe if you are making a decision based on how other people are behaving, how other people are acting, it could be that they're just putting on a show for you, that they're not really truly being themselves. And if you were to make a decision right now, you'll be making a decision based on wrong facts. So just let time do its thing. Like, I know time is a construct that we have in our reality right now, but you can also see it as a blessing, because with time, you learn patience. You learn to watch things play out. You learn to see people's true color, because I believe that if you're not really truly who you say you are, you can only put on the show for so long. You'll get exhausted, you know? So people who are lying to you, people who are not really who they say they are, people who don't have your best interest at heart, their true colors will show. And when that happens, you would have gathered enough information and you would have worked on yourself enough that no matter what decision you make, it will be for your own good, and it would be for your benefit. It will be for your best interest, right? So right now, group number 4s, don't make a decision, just observe and let things play out and focus on you. Okay, and now we're going to go into the oracle cards of this reading. So you guys have, the more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. So I feel like, yeah, this is talking about really focusing on yourself. What is it that you want? You know, what do you believe in? If there's one thing that you believe in about yourself, like for example, you believe that you'll be very, very successful and things will work out, always work out in your favor. That is your faith, right? So just continue to believe in that. Believe in yourself and you will be free, because you would not be afraid to make decisions anymore. You will not be afraid to do certain things. Okay? You guys also have ask for help from others. So, okay, this is another thing. So like even in this journey of inaction, it doesn't mean that you have to do this alone. You can ask others for help. Like you are being supported. You still have friends and family, and you know, if you can discern someone to see what kind of person they are, then maybe talking to your friends and family would help you shine light on things that you are not able to see. Because sometimes we see things in our own perspective. We might be a little bit blinded or biased, especially when emotions are involved. But if other people were to tell you like, hey, but this is what I'm observing, you can kind of see like, you know, like, okay, like they have a point, sort of thing. So ask others for help. See what they say. You don't have to follow their advice. You just have to listen to what they think. And their opinions, because you might be able to see a different perspective. You guys also have Maya. Schooling, study, and education help your life's purpose and personal growth at this time. The angels will guide you and help you with this process. So this is telling us that you have angels watching over you and they're guiding you. And with schooling, study, and education, it doesn't have to be a physical school. It doesn't have to be college. I mean, it could be if you're asking about a school situation. And if that's the case, then like continue to study, you know, just like continue on your path for now, and then like discover yourself in the process. But if this is not talking about education or school in like the traditional sense, it could also be learning about yourself or learning about the people that are involved involved in the situation. Like educating yourself on who they are or on who you are is going to bring the best outcome for you. So like, don't make a decision right now, but instead focus on giving yourself more knowledge and information on the parties that are involved so that you can come to the best decision. And now, group number 4, I want to end off this reading with some Affairs of the Heart Oracle cards. So I didn't do this at the start of the reading, but as I was filming like the reading portion, I wanted to include all these cards. So you have longing, missing you, on their mind, time apart. So if you are asking about a love interest, they are thinking about you, but I'm also seeing that time apart would be beneficial. Like, it doesn't have to be a breakup or like, you know, just ghosting them, but more of just like taking time to yourself. Like, if you're always spending time with other people, it's going to be difficult to sort of listen to what your body needs and what your mind needs, because you're always focused on other people's energy. So time apart will help you to discern and discover what you really want. It will help to calm your mind. I know at the start it could be uncomfortable to be away from somebody that you care about, but it will be very beneficial for you, group number 4s. There's also offer, gift, date, commitment. So I see that someone is coming in with an offer of something to you. It could be a job offer, it could be a love offer, but it is coming towards you guys. So it could be, this could be a situation that plays out from you not taking any action, because you know, if you don't act on something, if you're not okay, for example, let's just say proposals, right? If you don't propose to that person, you're actually giving a chance for that person to propose to you, if that makes sense, because your inaction creates space for an action to take place. So your inaction in making a decision is going to create space for an offer to come in. You guys also have finances. Okay, this also came out for a previous group, but yeah, focus on career, money, workaholic. I also think this means like, oh, oopsie. I also think this means that you should save if you haven't been doing so. You should work on like a career or work on a skill that is going to bring about like good career opportunities for you. And then the last card, you guys have life partner, love of a lifetime, stable. So I feel like you will be attracting your life partner in, but like I said, you need to make space to have this happen, and by that it doesn't mean that it has to be a completely new person that comes in. It can be the same. If you're with somebody right now, it can be the same partner, but you need to make space to let them grow into the life partner that you want them to be. If you're always doing things for them, if you're always taking care of them, if you're always neglecting your needs, they don't get a chance to grow into the person that they're meant to be for you. You know what I mean? Because you're doing all the job for them. So how are they gonna grow? You're not giving them a chance. It's just like butterflies and their cocoons. Like if you helped a butterfly to open the cocoon, they would never learn to fly because they would never have built up that strength in their wings. So you will get your life partner, group number 4. Like if love is what you're asking about, you will get that. Don't worry about it. Just like give space, take time to build on yourself, your finances, your career. Like let others come in for you. You know, like let others help you. Okay? And you will be all right. No matter what decision you make, you will be fine. These are the things that are coming towards you. Group number 4, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I really hope this helped and this resonated with you guys. You can leave me a like. You can also comment to tell me your stories. I would love to read them. And subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any future videos. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye! Hi group 5s. If you guys have chosen the carnelian, this is going to be your reading to answer the question, should you stay or should you go? Just a disclaimer, I am recording this video on 3 different days because of my work schedule, but all the cards that we have over here are the same cards that we picked out during the pile selection or pile creation part of this video. So you don't have to worry about that, and we are going to just go straight into your reading. So we're gonna start off with the oracle card first. You guys have the quail and gooseberry with anticipation. Now what's interesting about this card is that this is actually the last card that you have, like we have in this oracle deck, this Woodland Wardens oracle. This is the last card. So I feel like whatever journey you're on, whatever thing that you're asking about, you're inquiring about, you are reaching the end of that journey, and you are about to get your answers on what it is that you're looking for. Like the anticipation is about to come to an end. You have worked on it, you have waited very patiently, you have sort of like mastered or gain the skills of what it is that you are trying to manifest. Also, as I was saying that, I looked up at the camera and I saw 1, 2, 3, and when numbers come in succession like that, I see it as like a, going upwards, like a linear growth or a projection of like, what is that word? A propelling. That's the word. Like just getting shot forward. So I feel like things are going to be moving soon. If things have been stagnant for a while, it's finally going to come into place and it's finally going to start to move. And with the way the quail is standing on top of the gooseberry, usually quails are like animals that sort of like, they're birds, but they're, instead of like flying high up in the sky, they kind of like lay low a little bit just so that they're, safer and more protected. But this quail though is like a badass, and she's just standing there on the branch, just like fully in her power. And I feel like you have worked on yourself to the point where right now, if you were to make a decision, no matter what decision it would be, whether to stay or whether to leave, you are going to be confident in that decision, and you are going to just like walk through the door of your best possible outcome, because you are ready, like you've done the work. Okay, so Spirit is saying to have confidence. Now we're going to look into your tarot cards. I got them in a slightly different order. Okay, so first we're going to look at what is a possible outcome of you staying in this situation, and then we'll look at what outcome will you get from leaving the situation, and advice from Spirit. Remember that no matter what the outcomes are, you have the power, you have the free will to choose the outcome or to change the outcome based on your actions and decisions. So this is just like, as a current energy, these are the possible outcome, but you always have the power to change and mold it to your desires. All right, so let's just look into what would happen if you stay. You guys have the Knight of Pentacles and the Hierophant as a result of you staying. So what I'm seeing from these two cards is that when you choose to stay, you are going to have a slow and steady progress. Like, or you would have an offer coming towards you, but it's not going to come like immediately. It's, Pentacles are the slowest energy. Also, it could be like an earth sign that is significant. Because Pentacles are earth, and I'm seeing like this tree which reminds me of this earth sign. So the Hierophant is represented as a tree. It's rooted in tradition, but like earth signs, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo could be significant signs for you. I'm also seeing that by choosing to stay, you will be building on a skill or a talent, or like building on that pentacle, which is talking about like material wealth and stuff, where it's going to last you for generations and for a lifetime. Like you will be building something that is going to withstand the test of time, and that is going to become like a tradition or that is going to build tradition, because the Hierophant is a traditional card. It talks about like traditional contracts and stuff like that. It could also be that with you staying, someone is going to come towards you with an offer of a contract, something that is legally binding, that you would want to sign. So I'm seeing, if you stay, I'm seeing the building of tradition. I'm seeing like, just, yeah, like building tradition, setting things in stone, just being guided by like things in the past, you know, stuff like that. More like very stable, grounded energy will come about from you deciding to stay. Now, if you were to decide to leave the situation, you guys have the Devil in reverse and the Moon. So with these two cards, what I'm getting is that you're like, if you choose to leave this situation with the Devil in reverse, I feel like you would finally be conquering your shadow self. Like the Devil talks about like our beliefs that are toxic, you know, things that like keep us in a negative space. But in reverse, it kind of makes me feel like you will be mastering this devil energy. Like it will not affect you in a negative way that it would normally do, because the devil is a scary card. It talks about our shadows. And so with the Moon as well, I feel like you would be lit, like the shadow parts of yourselves will be lit. You know how like a full moon lights up the sky on the darkest night kind of thing. So yeah, like this Moon energy is going to light up your shadow selves, and you will be discovering and learning new things about yourself that you never know before. But as of right now, if you were to take a look at like what is the possible outcome for you, if you were to leave the situation that you're in, I feel like the possibilities are endless. The outcome is unknown. It's still a mystery. It's not something that you can understand or comprehend right now. If spirit were to tell you what outcome is going to be, you would probably just see that and go like, no, I don't think that's possible for me. And you would immediately mentally reject it, if that makes sense. So this is also why like spirit is not really exposing or explaining the actual outcome of what's gonna happen if you leave. Like you're not meant to know it at this exact moment, but just know that from you leaving, it will be you mastering like your hurt, your pain, like, you know, growing more as a person, and you will be able to really like face your shadow self and not be afraid of the dark. Yeah. I also do see, like with this Moon card especially, I just see that like you will be mastering your emotion, because the water do make me like think of emotions and like how these two animals are just happily like over it. So you will be in control of your emotions. You will be celebrating. You will be happy. Yeah, it's just a very different vibe. Like this is talking about stability and groundedness and like making a legacy, and this is talking about like empowerment and happiness and creativity, because of how like the animals are like creating music. All right, so this is the two possible outcomes. And then with advice from spirit, you guys have the devil, which is, it's crazy. Like you have the devil and the devil in reverse. Like and I also like the fact that how these two animals from these two different decks, like the devil is being represented as a bat, which is like interesting. And like it's really cool how bats can navigate through like the night skies. You know, they're very confident and they're very comfortable with the dark. I think that's one thing that I'm getting for you guys, group number 5s, is that you also being number 5 and also with the carnelian stone, I feel like you guys have been through a lot, but you're coming to this point where you're comfortable with your shadow self. Like all of us have a shadow self. All of us have like some kind of like darkness or something that we need to deal with, and that's just a part of who we are. You know, we could be light workers and also have a shadow self, and that's fine. And spirit is saying like be comfortable with your shadow self. Like you don't have to be afraid for having a shadow. Your shadow sort of also illuminates the brighter parts of you. You know, your shadow can be used to draw inspiration. Like when you master your shadow self, when you master things that you're afraid of, when you master your fears, you open up new doors for new opportunities. You become a whole new person on this journey of life. And what I'm also seeing is that once you master your shadow self, once you master that devil is no longer holding you hostage, then group number 5s, I see many blessings and inspiration coming to you at great speed. Yeah, so I feel like Spirit is just saying, like, right now you're almost at the end of the journey. One last thing for you to do is to master like your darkness, and you would be able to move forward and make a decision because many inspirations are coming. I also feel with this group that you guys are very a creative bunch. Like what you might be thinking might be like an inspirational journey. Also, my camera battery is about to die, so if it cuts off randomly, I will continue and try to remember from where I left off. And as I was saying that my camera died, so I've changed the battery. I'm back, group number 5. But I was saying, I feel like you guys are the group that has a lot of inspiration, like very creative energies coming out. I'm also like, the purple is really standing out to me, and the purple talks about what's that chakra called? The one that's connected to intuition, like the highest chakra that you have, all right? So I feel like you guys will be getting a lot of this divine downloads and inspiration from your intuition. And like, don't be afraid of the dark, because you would be fine. Like, embrace your shadow self, because in that darkness you might be able to find a new creative idea or inspiration. Now we are going to look into your oracle cards. So first, you have obstacles are detours in the right direction. Yeah, and I feel like this is Spirit's message to how you should be seeing your path. All the obstacles that you have faced before are just lessons, or little like check marks or learning points that you need to have to come to the right decision, or like to put you in the right direction, whether it is to stay or it is to go. I feel like everyone's journey is different. Even though you guys might all be watching group number 5, some of us would have gone through obstacles in our life that would make it feel like if I stay, that would be what I want. Like, this is what I want in life. And some of us might have gone through obstacles that make us feel like this is what I want. Like the learning journey for all of us could have been a little different, which is why like this reading is good, because it doesn't tell you which option to take, but it's more of telling you, like, based on what you have learned and what you've observed and the knowledge that you've gained, you would be able to come to a decision on whether you want to stay or you want to leave. And either way, when you are in your power and when you are confident with your decision, it doesn't matter which choice you take, because that would be the right choice for you. By embracing your the entirety of who you are, the good and the bad, the light and the shadow, you will always be on the right path. You will always be in the right direction. You guys also have success, which is like another purple card again. So yeah, like, just being in touch with your intuition will be very important. But success also is relating to the carnelian for me, because I feel the carnelian is more of like a power stone, like a boss energy kind of thing. So you will be successful no matter what you choose. Success is coming to you. Divine inspiration is coming to you. Continue to believe in the fact that you can achieve anything that you want to, that you're always being pushed in the right direction, even when you are going through tough times. Group number 5. And yeah, even your group, like number 5 talks about challenges. So yeah, even when you're going through challenges, you are being pushed and guided towards the right direction of your highest good for you. I also just looked up at the camera and saw 333, so that's just another confirmation. Just be confident, group number 5. You guys are doing good. Like, don't worry about it. You'll be well supported. Archangel Gabrielle says, you have an important life purpose involving communication and the arts. Please don't allow insecurities to hold you back. I will help you. So yeah, like I was saying, I think you guys are a very creative bunch. That's why you have a lot of like inspirations coming in, you know, like 8 of Wands. I always just think of it as like a epiphany of like, ooh, I have this idea that I want to create and stuff like that. Like, these downloads are coming in because you have an important life purpose. So continue to believe in that, and that life purpose, like whatever that you're creating, it's either gonna, like, if you choose this path, it's going to help you be mastering and taking control of your shadow self. Or if you choose this path, that divine purpose and inspiration and like the arts that you're going to create is going to leave a legacy, right? But either way, like, you guys have something to do with the arts and passion, something that you're really like passionate about, and that is what is meant to be your right direction. I am going to end this reading of group number 5 with some oracle cards. I know that these are not the cards that I prepared at the start, but I just wanted to add these in because yeah, it was calling out to me. You guys have dreams, divine guidance, belief, pay attention. You are being guided. Like Archangel Gabrielle said, you are being guided on this journey. You also have, like with dreams, you know, your dreams are coming true. Don't be afraid to dream, like, or pay attention to your dream. You might get messages in them as well. You also have keep going, don't stop, almost there. And this is crazy. Like, this talks about the anticipation. You're almost there. You're almost at the end of the journey. Don't give up now. Keep going. Great things are coming. Timing, divine timing, patience. Like, things are working out in divine timing, you guys. Like, have faith and keep going. And you have leave, walk away, goodbye, don't look back. Okay, so this, I don't think, I mean, I guess it's different for everybody, so take it as it resonates. It could be telling you to leave the situation, but it could also be to leave unhealthy parts of you behind. Like, I'm thinking of this as your shadow self. You're leaving your shadow behind, or you're walking away from being afraid of your shadow and seeing how, like, there's the shadow and there's the light, like embracing both parts of you. All right, and you guys have intuition with all the purple colors. Yeah, intuition, answers within reach, gut feeling, reflect. So go into your intuition. Maybe dream journaling might help. Pay attention to the little signs and synchronicities. Pay attention to that nagging feeling in your heart, because that is going to guide you towards the right direction. Like, don't just look at things and see like the situation for the 3D material world that it is, but ask yourself, like, in this situation, how is it making me feel? What is it making me think? What dreams am I having? What signs am I seeing? Like, look at all these so that you are able to decipher the best decision for yourself. Group number 5s. Yeah, so I really had fun doing your reading. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you guys. I really hope that it resonated and just helped you a little bit on your journey. If you like this video, you can like this video. Also, leave me a comment. You can tell me about your stories. I would love to read them. And yeah, subscribe to my channel if you want to keep watching more videos from me. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!